Hey everybody, how's it going? We got a quick video for you here. It's March 17th, I believe. We were still very much in winter. We got a whole lot of frost on the ground. I still have a foot of snow on my front lawn, so we're now entering my maintenance season and doing a bit of sanding here and there and plowing if need be. Hopefully not. I know some of you would like for me to do that, but I'm moving on right now. I want to start moving dirt. Anyways, so we're gonna do some maintenance today on the 906. What we gotta do is the final drives and the diffs. The reason we gotta do that is the gears in there are all brand new. They start to mesh and you get little metal shavings in there. We only have 500 hours on this, so they want this done at 500 hours. Normally you don't have to do this, but Cat wants it done. The nice thing about Cat is you can do all your work yourself, even under warranty. Yeah, I've done everything to this machine all by myself. I had the backup beeper go on it, changed it myself. Final drives need to be done because we're now at, I think we're 520 hours, something like that. So we're gonna do that myself. Yeah, I've done everything myself to this machine so far, just like my other equipment. And it'll be the same with my 303 tucked away there in the corner. So, that being said, we're gonna do the final drives, and I think I'm gonna do the diffs too. We will see. I could open up the owner's manual and figure out exactly how everything goes on here, which is what you wanna do, look in your owner's manual. But anyways, I got something surprise here for you. Well, surprise for me. I received this today in the mail. I had a package come in all the way from Illinois. Came with a letter. Hello, I'm Mike Gorgon. I hope I pronounced your name properly. If I did not, I apologize. I sincerely apologize. This little gift is for you for all the pleasure you give me from your videos. When I watched the oil change on the skid steer, you were getting your phone with your family pictures on it, getting full of oil. I figured you could use a light. Thank you, enjoy, waiting for more. Wow. That's amazing. I never ever expected that. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate that. It was one of the reasons why I joined. I started a YouTube channel because of the people. The people are great. I love communicating with people. Everyone in the comments. I am going to tone down the profanity though. I've had some not so nice comments about it, and then some polite people, you know, just saying you shouldn't do that kind of thing. And I agree with them. I do agree with them. Something I got to work on. I am working on, and you'll notice in this video there will be no swearing. I hope. Fingers crossed. Anyways, thanks again, Mike. I really appreciate that. I was going to go out and buy a light, especially for the job I got to do today, climbing underneath this machine. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's great. So, what I'm gonna do here is take the plow off the machine. I'm gonna pull it out, and then I'm gonna sweep this floor. We got a whole winter's worth of sand here that really needs to be swept and cleaned up. So, let's do that. That took a little while. I want to get that other shelf put up because I'm tired of this mess. I got to straighten all this stuff out because I still have a whole bunch of tools I got to bring over here from my dad's garage. So I need to get this shop cleaned up, but that'll be another day. There. I'm gonna close the shop down. We have a jolly rancher. Oh yeah, sip of tea before that. And then, yeah, we'll get at the task at hand. See you in a bit. I gotta show you something about this light, that Mike sent me. It's, wow, it's awesome. Cordless charging. Now mind you, when I get this shop set up properly, just sits on this little pedestal here and it charges. That's it. I gotta charge this for at least 8 hours, but after it's done its first initial charge, I am gonna test this bad boy out. Don't you worry, I got a lot of maintenance to do. I gotta get the dump truck, I got a little bit of stuff to do the dump truck. I gotta order the parts for that today. Anyways, we'll get to that when we get to that video. Yeah, I just got a little bit of moving stuff around here, and then we'll get to the loader. I just wanted to show you that light. Thanks again, Mike. That is awesome. I appreciate that. Mind blown today. Mind blown. Awesome. So, we're gonna get everything ready to roll here. That I'm just gonna use the, where is it? I thought I had it out. Okay. The breaker bar. An extension on it. That'll just go in there like that. You twist those off, but first I gotta get that lined up right down on the bottom. I may start draining the differentials first before I do that because I don't know if they're tied in. It's the same fluid, so it should be. It's an axle, right? I need a light. I would use that light right now, but it's charging. It's gonna charge for 8 hours. So I'll use my old junker. Oh my goodness, it's bright, but not as bright as that other one. All right, so what we gotta do, oh my goodness, that bolt right there, I also have to use the breaker bar, hopefully if it reaches. Take that out, and then this nut right up here, the one to the right there, that'll be the drain for it. So that'll be the vent, and that'll be the drain. That's also the fill. You fill it up there. So I think what I'm going to do first is see if I can, oh my goodness, if I can get out of here. So what we're going to do, use our breaker bar to take the drain plugs off. Now what I did to get those on the bottom, you can basically only do 2 wheels at a time. So we can't do all 4. It would be very difficult to do that, but I jacked it up, the counterweight, my 4-ton jack, 3.5-ton jack, sorry. I was worried it wasn't gonna lift this thing because you gotta lift both sides right off, so the whole butt end. And then I can turn that side, get it down at the bottom. The front, I already did. And when I turned them, it left this side like this. So it's not lined up either. So I had to do 1 wheel at a time. Making me think that it's separate fluid, separate compartments. By the looks of it, maybe. So we may have a seal separating the actual axle differential from the final drive over here. I don't know. We'll see. Wouldn't make sense to me. It's the same fluid. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get underneath. I'm gonna start with the front here. I'm gonna drain the differential out. Oh, well, I'm thinking I'm gonna open the vent, and then I'll do that 1 wheel on that side. Get it draining, and yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. So there's only 1 screw on the actual final drives on the wheels, which makes me think that fluid runs right from the diff all the way through into the final drives. And this is the vent for the whole system / fill hole for the differential. And we do it this way. There we go. And we broke her free. All right. So somebody borrowed my ratchet, so I grabbed my smaller breaker bar, which is shorter than the other one. It should be easy to get it out. I should probably grab a pan in case this leaks, which I'm gonna do right now. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. You can hear the air. All right. See, it's got an O-ring on it, and it does too. And a magnet. Yeah, you can see the sludge and stuff on it. That's why we're doing this. So we're gonna pull this nut out and clean it. Oh, eerie. Just as I thought. All right, so it's a 17. And my 17 mil socket is surprisingly disappeared. So, no doubt, use a wrench. That's the next thing I need to buy. It's, some impact stuff. I have air stuff, but I want to get the electric ones. I think I'm gonna, oh, that ain't it. There we go. I think I'm gonna buy a kit shortly for that. I hope it doesn't spew all over me. That's why we take that one off first. But I think this is intertwined. Right. Oh yeah. Now we're draining. So I'm gonna leave this open. Yeah, that stuff's a little dark. See, that one's got a magnet on it too. A little bit of gunk on it for sure. That's why we do it. All right. I gotta clean my hands so I don't get this stuff all over my camera, and then I'm gonna pull you out and show you exactly this stuff all over these magnets. All right. All right, guys. So this is why it's required under warranty. You see all that stuff in there? I'll show you. Look at that. You can actually see the little metallic flakes in there. From the gears meshing. Now the next time you go to change this, it's not going to be anywhere near that. Yeah, look at that. See that? A lot of that is just shine off of the light. You can barely see any little specks, but they are there. So that's why it's a must to do this to that machine at 500 hours. That's required under warranty. So hopefully I can help someone out who ends up getting a 906, 7, 8. This may even go up even higher than that. Maybe even up to 914, maybe even higher. Who knows? Probably higher, I would say. So hopefully this video can help someone out. I'm gonna let that other stuff drain. I'm gonna get another pan and we're gonna take this nut off, and hopefully it does go all the way through. So now it's vented, it won't splooge me. Yeah, so I'm gonna go just tidy my hands up and we'll mount you somewhere good. All right, so I got you mounted on the fender. Just in case, I have a gut feeling that these are separate sealed area is a differential in this, so I'm thinking I may get splooged here a little bit. We will see. You think they would have had a second one for a vent and one for a drain, but what do I know? I'm not an engineer. All right, so pull up the chair here. Set that there for a sec. I already broke this loose, so it's not loose, so. There we go. Doesn't take much to break these free. But they're tighter than that in the beginning. So I'm gonna use this. And I'm gonna go like this, because this may not be pretty. All right. Oh, yeah, you can hear the air. It is separate. They're separate. Oh dear. All right. There we go. You can actually see the little bit of shavings in there from everything meshing, all the gears meshing. It doesn't hold much there, the final drives. Does not hold much at all. Alright, so while that side's finishing draining out, we're in this back tire, because obviously with the air coming out of there, they're separate from the differentials. But it is the same fluid for both, which is the TDTO 10 weight 30. That's what I got here. Yeah, transmission and drivetrain oil. So the TDTO 10 weight. This is the 10 weight 30, I believe. They do have a 0-20 for Arctic temperatures, but I do use this loader in the summer, so I really don't need to go to that craziness. This is sufficient enough. I have to look in the manual how regularly you got to do this, but I don't think it's too often. I mean, you wouldn't think so, but who knows? I'll have a look. All right, so we'll temporarily put that back in for a second. And pull this stuff away. All right, then I'm gonna jack the back up so I can turn this this line here level horizontally. Okay, so yeah, bear with me. We are there. Oh my goodness. Other tire's hitting a bit. See how level we can get this. You gotta be right close. That is pretty well spot on. There we go. All right, set her back down. Pop this nut back out. Probably gonna may have a bit of fluid coming out of there. We will see. Just a scooch. There we go. Perfect. All right. Set that down and that down. Get this out of the way so I don't kick it all over the place. Let's fill it up. I don't think the final drives will take much more than this jug each, maybe less even. All right, so I'll show you how much fun it's going to be to fill these diffs. We'll put a jug in there. Oh my goodness. Ooh. I need to get a new creeper. Well, I love this one because it turns into a chair, but I need to get a different one as well. You know, I probably should have came in the other side. That would have been easier. All right, I'm gonna get set up here and bring you back. All right, welcome back. Got my fancy jug here. Yeah, see, even the 5-gallon ones just wouldn't have worked. Oh, I kind of want to move that light, but I would like you guys to be able to see. All right, you know, you're probably not gonna be able to see anyway. But let's try her out. Let's start filling her up. Push that jack out of the way because she's going to seep. Oh, there goes the light. Awesome. Let's see how magical it can be here. See, this is where that light that Mike sent me is going to come in very handy. Very, very handy. It should be our last jug though to fill up this differential. How's that for a difference in brightness? Wow. That's the light that Mike gave me. Thanks, Mike. I could actually see inside the differential now. It's so bright in here. Wow, what a difference. That is a really nice light. Thanks, Mike. I can't thank you enough for that. I really, really, truly appreciate that. Glug, 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 glug. Wow, what a difference, eh? You guys could actually see what's going on. Huh. Look at that, eh? A little rusty. Shows you how much I use the brakes on this machine. It's the only benefits of having a hydrostatic transmission. You barely need to use the brakes. Oh yeah, we're dripping now. That's all she wrote. We are full. All right, guys. Jolly Rancher. So we got 2 more things to do for our first initial 500-hour service on this machine. Like I said, the oil was done in the fall, so we're good there. This isn't on the list, but I do this at least once a year minimum. I got to change this out. Now this one is a bit of a different system. I'm gonna get a light. So, the fuel filter. This one is a different system than my skid steer. My skid steer has, well, it's the same things, just a different style. This machine, there is no inline filter on this particular setup. That's the lift pump up top there. This right here, that's the lift pump. That's the water separator. This is basically a super high efficiency filter, okay? So yours will either come with this setup that I have here, or it'll come with the same setup that I have in my skid steer, where there's actually a inline filter in the, well, just before, in the lift pump, but it's before, it's in between the pump and the gas, and the gas tank, the fuel tank. But it's literally attached to the pump. You got to take the pump off to change the filter. This one, we only have the one filter. So we're gonna get set up so we can get this done. It's a very quick process. All we gotta do is disconnect our water and fuel indicator sensor, and then pull this off and get a suitable thing to drain the fuel into. So I'm gonna do that right now. So we'll get a suitable container. What a light, eh? Bright, it's nice and bright. All right, got my suitable container. Just a water bottle. That'll work. So we're gonna disconnect this. Should be just a push tab and pull apart. There we go. That's disconnected. Because when we get this off, we're gonna have to put this part on the new filter. But first, we're gonna drain this out. So we're gonna want to turn this. Oh my goodness! If it'll turn, 1.5, or sorry, half to a full turn, and then it'll start draining. It will start draining. Maybe. And I did drain this out completely at 250 hours just to get any water out of the system. You definitely want to do that. There we go. And that's as far as she's going to drain. So we'll tighten that back up. Pull it out of there because it's drained. Alright. Now, pull the filter off. You see a lock and unlock. There's an arrow on the filter and an arrow on the housing that it attaches to. We just turn it to the unlock. And boom. Out she comes. So that's what it looks like there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this, all of that, this housing here, take it right off of this filter and put it on the new one, and then we can put it in place. Okay, so we got our new filter in place. You want to make sure your drain hose is tight. It just screws on. You'll find it. Make sure you do not cross thread it. This is all just plastic housing in there. There is 2 O-rings on the seal on this filter to seal into here. All I did was put a little bit of diesel fuel on those O-rings, because diesel is actually a really good lubricant. And yeah, that way we don't want to damage those O-rings going in. So next thing we're going to do, just wipe our new filter off. They're somewhat clean. And right on the filter itself, I'm going to rate the hours it was changed. So now we know it was done at 512 hours. I do that with all the filters that go on the machine. This one's kind of nice. It only has the one. Don't forget to plug your sensor back in. There we go. It's kind of nice. It only has the one. I don't know how there's grease on that. It's interesting. It only has the one filter on it. I mean, the skid steer is not too bad to change. It's very, very easily accessible. That machine is very easy to service, especially when you look at machines like Kubota or Takeuchi, which are good machines, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to serviceability, CAT is king. And it's very easy to get parts. I'm gonna tighten that up. So, all I used to put this on and take that off is I have a sleeve to go on this filter. Then I use this, another oil filter wrench. The only thing I use with the wrench is things like this. This actually works well on the CAT skid steer because it's entirely a clear housing. It's actually an element filter. But I always try to use these sleeves because it doesn't scratch these all up and doesn't dent them or anything like that. Don't ever use one of these on a filter like that because you will just dent it. You may end up puncturing a hole in it. Just spend the bucks and get a proper filter wrench for every filter you're using. So now all we got to do is prime the system. Again, CAT is king for that. All you gotta do is turn the key on and off a few times. The lift pump up here should end up filling this right up. I'll do that. All right, now we're full. I'm gonna fire it up. That was 5 times. 2 more times and the skid steer. Check for leaks. Make sure everything is good on there, no leaks. Put this hose back in its little clamp. That's in a good position. All right, so we have one more thing to do that hasn't been done yet on this machine. For the first initial 500 hours you put on it. This isn't every 500 hours, it's just the first initial 500 hours. We got to go down below again and do the transfer drive, hydrostatic transfer drive. It doesn't hold much. It's the same fluid as the differential and the final drives. It's a TD TO 10 weight. I didn't want to do it when I was doing the other the differentials down at the underneath because, well, I kind of wanted to stand up. I was tired of laying under the machine and running back and forth from final drives to that. We are done everything except for that. Normally you're going to want to do the oil every 500 hours. I do mine in the fall because this machine really works in the winter months, so I will be putting a video out on how to do the oil in this this coming fall, end of summer into fall. Yeah, so let's get down underneath and I'll show you exactly what the transfer drive is, hydrostatic. And there's two different types of transfer drives, and I will show you that when we get down there. All right. All right. So this is the speeder here. You have two different types in these machines. Or sorry, it's a transfer drive. This is a speeder transfer drive. You have two different transfer drives in these machines. One's a speeder, what isn't it? This is the speeder. The way you can tell the difference between the two is the speeder will have the drain plug right here and the vent slash fill right here. Now the other style, it'll literally be on this side of it, one on top of the other. So that's how you tell the difference. Anyways, 17 mil, just like the rest. Crack that. First thing we're gonna do is crack this though. That way we get some air behind it. It'll drain better. Let me grab my little bar here. Murphy. My goodness. There we go. Sometimes with these, I mean, of course you could use a proper tool. Like an impact would work best. All my air tools are at my dad's, so this is what we're doing. I will be getting some air tools soon though, I'll tell you that much. Over back here to the shop. And also impact. You can hear the air behind that. She's a little dirty. You want to make sure to clean these off really well and inspect. I do expect to see a little bit of grossness in there. We got our vent plug slash fill plug nice and clean. Set that down here on a paper towel, or shop rag, whatever you want to call it. Again, it would be nice to have an impact to do this. Oh, wow, that was not very tight at all. Now this I think holds like 1.5 liters to 1.75 liters, something like that. Alright, hopefully it doesn't come flying out of there. Oh, of course the last one I do I get oil on my hands. I was doing not bad until this one. Yeah, as you can see, there's not much in there. Anyways, we're gonna let that drain. All right, now that we are completely drained out, I got our drain plug nice and clean. You can see the magnet on there. You know, I love getting this machine undercoated every year, but my goodness, the gunk that you get built up under here, I am gonna have to steam clean the hell out of this machine. I don't think I'll need the hammers. One more little, there we go, that's nice and tight. So now we're gonna fill it the same we filled everything else, right through the fill plug. As soon as it starts dripping out of here, then we know we're full. We can put the fill plug back in. Alright, I think we're full now. Yeah, we're definitely full. Alright. So we're gonna let a good chunk of that come out until that stream completely slows right down, which won't take long. Now that we're full, put our fill plug back in. Tighten her on up. And there's an O-ring on that fill plug, so put a little bit of that oil on there, on the O-ring. That way you don't split it. Wow. That's the light that he sent me. That is awesome. How bright that is. So bright. That has come in handy already, just for the little tiny project we're doing on this, which is done. That's what you gotta do to the 906 for your first initial 500 hours, the first 500 you put on the seam, on the machine. They also want you to get a sample of the coolant to send off for SOS. I mean, these things you don't have to do, they're just recommended. I don't do it. The only one that I did do was the engine, because I wanted to make sure it was, you know, wearing the way it should. There's nothing in the oil that shouldn't be there, no contaminants, all of that stuff, etc. This stuff is pretty basic for you guys that, you know, work on equipment, work on machines regularly. This video more or less is for guys with this. There's a lot of guys that have bought this same machine that or are going to buy the same machine. Until I wrench them up. Just to show you that doing the differentials, final drive, the transfer drive, all that type of stuff is easy peasy. You can do it yourself. It took me, if I had a hand pump, I would have been done probably just over an hour. But because it was filling up so slow in the front, it took me probably close to 2 hours to do this. Anyway, it's super easy. Even the oil change on this is really easy. I'm going to do a video on that there come the fall when I do the oil. And one thing they want you to do is take the machine for a ride and then come back and then check all the levels, which I'm going to do. It won't take long to do that. Anyways, hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully this helps a few people out there that are looking at getting the 906 or have the 906. Yeah. Thanks for everything, guys. Don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Now, I'll show you what our next little project. This is my maintenance season. Our next little project. We got a good little stack of parts here. This is all for the dump truck. We just had to put a couple of hubs, couple hubcaps on. We got some wheel bearings. We're doing a brake job. There's some filters, rotors, because that truck is juice brakes. It's got disc brakes all the way around. So stay tuned for that. And I measured, and I think my truck is just barely gonna fit into the shop here. I'm gonna have maybe 4 inches clearance on the door. Sorry about that, guys. We're changing the gas meter in the building, and inspecting the furnace, selling all these parts. Gotta go under C7500. Anyways, like I said earlier, hopefully you guys liked the video. Don't forget to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Catch you on the next one.